Welcome back to the Suncorp Super Netball Show. Just some great highlights there of Karla Pretorius, who takes intercepts. That could have actually just been the game recorded. It happens so often.
That was just one quarter.
It was just one quarter. I think she takes 5.5 intercepts per game on average, absolutely dominating the stats. And we're saying that because she's listening to us, because she's joining us right now via Skype from the Sunshine Coast. Karla, thanks so much for taking the time. Obviously, we've just put the first little bit of the Super Netball season to bed. You've got your Proteus cap on at the moment, but if we can just cast our mind back to the 9 games, 7 wins, you must be really happy with where the Sunshine Coast are at this point.
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to make sure we end up in a good position before everybody heads off to Worlds, and yeah, we're second on the log and we're pretty happy with that.
Karla, your defensive combination with Pums and Mulwaney just goes from strength to strength every week. We know you've had some time with it with the Proteas, but what do you think it is that makes a good defensive pairing?
I think it's very important to know what each other's strengths are and your style of play. What can you do as a player to support your fellow player, like in the circle? I think for me and Pumi, it's been the first time we can really train together and really work in that combination, where previously, before international games, we would just get together and play. We don't get the opportunity to really train that combination. So, yeah, I think it's the more you play, the better you get to know each other, and that helps to form that combination.
Amongst all of the accolades that you seem to be receiving across the course of the last 12 months or so, the biggest one, obviously, is that you're Kath's Player of the Round on the show pretty much every single week. The consistency level is outstanding. I mean, in your game, what do you put that level of consistency down to? Because it's certainly improved. Last year was awesome as well, but obviously this year's just so consistent.
I can't really pinpoint like a specific thing that causes that consistency, but I reckon it's just to have faith in what you're doing, do the hard work during the week, and be best prepared going into those games. But also, it being my 3rd season in the competition, you learn something new every day and about yourself and your style of play and how to read the play. So I think that also contributes to possibly the consistency. But also, I just love being part of the Sunshine Coast community and being part of Lightning Club, and also love my teammates and having my husband. Yes, I think the off-court stuff really, the fact that I'm really content, contribute or shows on court as well. So it's a combination of a few things.
You yourself and Pums are kept Fowler to 45 goals on the weekend. What are some of the challenges you face when you come up against a player like that, and what's the game plan to try and minimise her impact?
Yeah, she's always a tough opponent to come up against. Not only is she tall, but she's strong and she can jump, and she's pretty consistent in her shooting. So when you come up against her, you've got your work cut out for you. But I reckon, especially with a tall, strong shooter, the work that you do up front, and also shows like the hard work Maddie, Laws, Jack and all of them do up front, they make it easy for us at the back. But yeah, the work that's done up front, that's going to help you be successful against a Geneva Fowler.
You had obviously you've got a very good attacking end, as you just alluded to, and yet Courtney Bruce had probably her best game of the season against you guys, double-figure gains. From your end of the court, do you watch what rival defences are doing, and also just on a week-to-week basis, do you learn things from watching other teams' defence ends?
Yeah, definitely. Specifically in the game, you don't really look at what they're doing. You focus more on your game, but definitely going from one game to another, that's part of the preparation. You study what other defenders do against certain shooters and what worked for them, what didn't work, and then you use as much information as you can going into the upcoming game.
And Karla, the SSN breaks now for the World Cup. Congratulations on your selection for the Proteas. What does your schedule look like now? We know you're still in the sunny coast at the moment, but what's the next couple of days and weeks look like for you?
We have a few days on the coast, so just resting up, packing, making sure we're ready for the long travel over to England. So we'll head over to Wales first, our South African team. So the South Africans in Australia. So we'll fly on Thursday. meet the rest of the team in Wales. And then, we'll have 2 test series against them, or 2 test games against them. And, then it's World Cup.
Business class flights, obviously.
Sorry, I missed that.
Business class flights.
Oh,
Only for the tall players?
no.
You've got a pretty tough group when you get there. Australia's got a relatively easy group. We're kind of looking at that, and we'll look at it after the break as well. But you guys have got Fiji in there, but you've got Trinidad, Tobago and Jamaica. So there's going to be a lot of stern tests in your first preliminary phase.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a tough pool out there, but I reckon as a South African side, we've been the best prepared for a World Cup in a long time. So out of that, we draw a lot of confidence, and we know we can go out and challenge those big teams, definitely. Yeah, but we know our work is cut out for us. It's going to take a massive team effort to compete against all the teams there, but we're very excited for the challenge and look forward to the World.
And Karla, you've got 6 South African players playing in Super Netball at the moment. If you include Bongi Masomi from last year, that's actually your starting 7. How helpful is that for your national team to be playing in SSN?
Yeah, in terms of preparation, it helps out a lot. In the Suncorp Super Netball, so you play against all the people you're going to come up against in World. So you get some game time on them, and you increase your experience. So, it's definitely to our advantage that we have a few players in this league, and we're really thankful for that. And as I said, that contribute to our confidence going into World Cup.
Karla, thanks so much for joining us. Obviously, there's plenty going on for you right now. Your form has just been astounding, and we appreciate you taking the time. And also, we look forward to the Proteas playing really well, only to lose to Australia.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Karla Pretorius there, taking time to talk to the Suncorp Super Netball Show. It's fantastic access that we do get. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, speaking of access, we went out to Diamonds Camp yesterday and spoke to plenty of the players. We'll see some of that right after this.